Hey, my name is Steve. In my previous video, we created an expert advisor for MT5 using Claude AI, and this is an expert advisor that trades with the MACD crossover for entries, but using EMA 50 and 200 to actually filter out and I guess pick a direction for long or short. Main idea being that we trade long if it's above the EMAs and trade short if it's below the EMAs, and we use the MACD for entry points. Now with this expert advisor, we did actually set it up to follow some prop firm rules. We can actually set a profit target. So for example, if we are doing a 10K prop firm challenge and we have to make a 10% gain, which is $1,000, we can actually set a profit target for $11,000. We can set a minimum equity of $9,000 for a 10% loss, so that if any of these targets are actually hit, we will actually stop trading and the expert advisor will be removed from the chart altogether. So that will prevent from any additional trading. The reason we're doing this, not so much for the minimum equity, but mostly for the profit target. We don't want to hit our profit target of $11,000 and go over by a little, like 11,100 for example, and then have a change in direction where it goes back and drops down below the 11,000 again, in which case it closes at a smaller target, so we don't actually reach our profit target with closed trades. But what we're doing instead, as soon as this one hits $11,000 or our 10% profit target, it will close all trades to lock in the target and the profits, and it will disable the trading altogether. So we can't mess it up in any way once we've actually reached our target. If you didn't watch the first video or part 1 of this series, it's best to go back and do that probably before you watch this one, because in this video we are mostly going to work on finding the best pairs to actually trade and optimizing the settings for each symbol or each pair that we're trading. So the important parts at the moment are in the first video. You need to actually learn how to create the code. You can actually type it up for yourself, and I will actually give you some instructions on there, or I'll show you the instructions that I gave to AI to generate the code for me. So you can actually give that a shot as well if you're feeling up to it. Next, we will go through the optimization. Where we actually left off from the first video, we're going to continue optimizing and selecting pairs to actually trade this one. So at the moment, we have set it up to work with, I've got 3 pairs that will actually work for this particular strategy, and they're on 15-minute charts. All we need to do is get the optimized settings, save the settings, and then load them onto a chart. So let's do that part next. Go through and watch the optimization. Then we will load it onto a chart. Be sure to watch this video to the end, because once we get through the actual optimization, we're going to set it up on a demo account and let this one trade for a few weeks to see what the results are. And we don't want to miss the setting up of the demo accounts. This symbol. Now let's try the same thing with the Euro US dollar. I'm going to use the same setting for starters and just see how it looks. It's possible that the same setting might work nicely for both pairs, but it's probably not going to. We can see here that using the same settings, we actually had a loss of $1,000. So that didn't help. I'm just going to move these values in case they are influencing. And now let's do an optimization for the Euro US dollar and find the best settings on that one. So we're going to do the same as previously. We'll have a maximum stop loss of 80 and the maximum take profit of 200, and we're starting each of them at 20 pips and stepping up by 10. Okay, so let's see what the optimization results look like on this one. The results are in. The best profit we had was $1,000 by the looks, and that's over a 1 year and 10 months, so that's not very good. And let's see, the best profit factor is 1.16, so I'm not happy with those results at all. But let's do an optimization on the M5 chart and see if we can actually get a better result there. If this doesn't look any good, the next thing to do is try on a few more symbols. We will actually try this test on gold as well, because I think gold is actually very good for trading with EAs. With the results of this test, so this is the M5 and the Euro US dollar, we've got the maximum profit is 2,146, which is fine. The profit factor is 1.29. It's a bit lower than what I would like. Drawdown is actually 10%. Stop loss 50, take profit 190. Now that being the case, let's look at two other options. Look at different profit factors and compare the drawdowns. And also look at the lowest drawdown as well. So the lowest drawdown is 7%, and the profit factor is 1.01. The nearest one to that is 1.08 profit factor, and then 1.17. And the actual profit on these is too low to make it worthwhile, so I'm going to call that one a failure. Now let's look at, actually we can do one more test. We'll do the H1 chart, but and optimize that one as well. But I'm thinking that this is probably not going to be any good either. But let's have a look at it anyway and see what the result is. Now looking at the results here, it looks like there's nothing that actually put us into profit. So looking at the profit column, yeah, so that just proves that the H1 chart is not really suitable for this particular strategy. So that being the case, let's do a test on the M5 and M15 on UJ. Do the same thing, we're just doing the optimization again to see if we can find the best settings. Okay, results are in now for UJ, and this is on the 5-minute chart. We've got crazy high profit compared to the previous test. This one is actually $8,909, which is great. However, the drawdown was too high to make this one a good result. So let's see, highest profit $9,953, 29% drawdown. That's a 20 stop loss and a 110 take profit. So we don't like that because of the drawdown. Let's have a look at something with a lower drawdown if we can, and see if we can get something that still looks reasonable to use. There's a few choices here. It's hard to say which one is actually going to be best. We don't want to have a take profit that is lower than the stop loss, because the risk to reward ratio is bad. So we want to have something that's got an okay drawdown, but these all seem a bit high. So 14% for this one. lower drawdown here, 9.88%, that's the lowest one. So that's not really suitable. Let's have a look at the same test where we use the M15 chart and see if we can get a better result on that one. Results are good on this one for the 15-minute chart, and we've got a $12,000 profit, so that is fantastic. Let's have a look at the drawdown now and the profit factor. So the profit factor is lower. Let's see which is the highest profit factor. 1.3 is the highest profit factor. That's with 10,500 profit and a 13% drawdown. So not too bad. Considering with this drawdown, you know, we could actually hit the take profit before we actually get to a 10% drawdown. So let's just run a single test on this one. Check the graph. So overall for this one, the result is actually quite good. And looking for the drawdown, I'm guessing it was probably around either this period or maybe up here. So that's about June 2025. This one was about August 2024. Let's look at the numbers here. So although 13% drawdown, not too bad. It did go higher than 10, but let's look at the profitable trades, 42.93%. Profit factor 1.3. Maximum consecutive wins is 5. So we would have, at one stage, we could have actually passed the prop firm challenge with 5 consecutive wins. We've had 9 consecutive losses with 1,245. So it's a little bit hit and miss, but based on these numbers, we could have quite possibly passed the prop firm challenge with a slight risk of maybe getting stopped out. And I kind of like the settings as well. A 50 stop loss and a 90 take profit. It's actually pretty good. Let's have a look at a visual. Get a couple of trades opened up and see how this looks. Okay, so here was our first entry. Just checking to see the MACD where it actually entered. It looks like here where the signal line actually crossed up is where we actually saw the entry signal. So that is fine. It's above the 0 line, which doesn't really matter, but it's going in the right direction. So let's just see how this particular trade played out. And the risk got a lot size 0.28, and here it is. We've actually hit our take profit. So let's have a look. So one thing I've noticed that it has actually opened another trade on the same day. So that particular rule, it's preventing it from opening 2 trades on the same day, but it is actually opening another trade on the same day that this one closed. So I'm not sure about that at this point, whether we should do anything about that or not. And we made 176, so there's slippage in there, I guess, as well. So it didn't actually get a full 2%, but at the same time the risk was okay as well. So let's see how the next trade goes. Okay, so we've had 2 wins on the same day, which is okay. 3 consecutive wins, 4 consecutive wins. So this is how we could have actually possibly passed a prop firm challenge in just a week even, if we had 5 consecutive wins. So we did have our first loss there. Let's have a look at the history, see what the amount of the loss was. Should have only been around $100. 108, which is fine, because we were actually up about $800 or $700. So 1% would be about 107 or 108. So the actual risk calculator is working perfectly. So that was a loss, and let's see, we've had another loss. Okay, I think we will have to make a change to the rule that we can't open another trade on the same day if we've had an entry or an exit. So let's go to the AI and make this modification. I'm just trying to work out the best way to word this. And what we want to do is say, to open another rule, do not open a trade on the same day as let's see. We're saying do not open a trade on the same day if we've had an entry or an exit with that same sim. So let's modify this code. Now this is going through, and as you can see, it's actually modifying, it's deleting lines and adding new lines. And it's basically going to rewrite the entire expert advisor for us. So what we will do once it's finished is, oh, it looks like it's ready now. We will copy this and we will override the existing code. So just highlight it all, Control A, delete, and then Control V to paste. We will compile it. And I'm just going to see if we can actually do this same test without having to change any of the settings, if this will actually work now. I remember previously, I think we had about 4 consecutive winning days. And so the rule is it can't open another trade on the same day that we've had an entry or an exit. That is the new rule we've just added. Okay, so far so good. We've only had 1 trade per day so far. And I think this is where we had a previous entry on the other one. Yes, so it's working now. So that change to the rules actually did work. Now we've had a few consecutive losses here, but the visual test that we're doing now is we just want to see that it is entering and exiting at the correct time. And when we look at this entry here, we can see that the MACD was going down and then the signal line crossed up above it right at this point. And that is the entry. You can see here that the EMA 50 was above the 200 and the price was above the moving average slow, which is the 200 as well. So the entry is actually correct on this one. Just let a couple of these play out and then we might save these optimized settings. So what we have now is two symbols that are actually profitable using this particular EA, and now we want to find maybe 3, 4 or 5 symbols that we can actually trade on that will actually work. So let's stop that now and we'll go on to the next. So go on to the next symbol. We want to save the actual settings. Just confirm we are on UJ on the M15. And I don't think that was the right setting that I wanted to save and test. Let's just try this one. I think it was 50 and 90 was the stop loss and take profit that we wanted to look at. Okay, yes, these are the settings. So let's just save the settings. So currency is UJ and the chart is M15. Okay, done. Now the next is to find another symbol that we can trade. I'm going to go with the CAD for this one. We'll go straight to the optimization test. And we'll use the same settings. Let's go. And looking at the profit for this symbol, results are no good, so let's skip that one. And I'm thinking now let's go straight to gold for the next test. We'll try the 5-minute and the 15-minute chart. Now, the thing is with gold, pips are calculated differently. So instead of 50 pips, we need to add an extra 0, or instead of 80 pips, we need to add an extra 0 onto that. So we're going to start off with 500 and maybe go up by 50, which is equivalent to going up by about 5 pips. Let's go up by 100. So it's like 100 points equivalent to 10 pips. Stop loss up to say 3,000 perhaps, maybe 4,000. And take profit 8,000. Let's say step by 150 perhaps. And we'll just check to see what this looks like. So this is on the 5-minute chart, and we'll also do an optimization on the 15-minute chart as well. We have some nice looking results here for gold, and just checking the settings in. This is on the M5 chart. Looking at the optimization settings, we've had a $24,000 profit. However, this is only 9 trades over about a year and 10 months. So the time frame is no good for the trades, and 25% drawdown. So that part we don't actually like. But let's have a look at some other numbers and just see what we've got. So checking the profit factor. Highest profit factor is 20, but there was only 4 trades over 1 year in 10 months. So not very good at all for that one. And looking at something that's more reasonable, like perhaps drawdown perhaps instead. Let's check the lowest drawdown, see what we've got. Okay, we've got 8% drawdown. The stop loss is 4,000 and take profit is 1,000. So I don't like the way that's looking either. That's no good. And these are only like 4 or 5 trades for over a year or more than a year and a half. So not very good. Let's look at total count of trades and see how this looks. The numbers here with a decent number of trades, we've got a high drawdown, so that part of the deal is not very good. So let's go back to looking at drawdown again. We want to find a drawdown where the take profit and stop loss numbers are actually looking okay. So I like this 4,000 and 6,000, but there's only 5 trades, but that is no good at all. Now let's go down the column with the trades and just see which one looks best. Really, I'm not liking any of the settings here. Part of the reason is because of the number of trades, and the other thing is the drawdown. And one of my rules is I want the stop loss to be less than the take profit. So let's try this optimization again on the 15-minute chart. And we will use the same settings. I did actually make a change to previously. We're starting at now 1,000 and jumping up by 250. Mainly because there were too many different trade setups in the previous settings. I think we can actually decrease that a little as well by making that 2,000 as the minimum. That'll give us less to work with, less to worry about. So let's start that and see what the numbers come up with here. We have the results now for the M15 chart on gold, and let's have a look and see what the best numbers are for this one. See if we can make this work. So the highest profit is 9,099. That is great. Profit factor is good, 6.28. But the number of trades is bad. It's only 8 trades over about say 22 months. Not very good. Drawdown was 15%. So now we need to filter through these numbers and see if we can actually find something that is acceptable that we can work with, even if we are trading multiple pairs or multiple symbols at the same time. If we're doing like 3 different symbols, one of them should have a trade going at most times anyway. So we might not have a trade every day, but most days we should have. So let's look at a couple of things like profit factor and drawdown. So let's sort the drawdown column first. The lowest drawdown is 8.6% with only 5 trades. So now we will go down the total number of trades and find something that looks a little bit better. So here we have 13 trades, profit is 3,400, so that's okay, that's more than 1,000. Drawdown 10.34%, so that is just acceptable. We've got a stop loss of 3,000 and a take profit of 2,000, so that is the part I don't like. So we want to have a take profit slightly higher, or at least equal to the stop loss. And still have a good number of trades, but here we have 3,000 and 3,250, but only 9 trades. This one is backwards as well. This one is close. We've got 3,000 and 2,500, so that will almost work. Drawdown is 11%, so that is acceptable as well. This one is also close. Going back up to where we were previously, let's just find the best one that we can at this point and do a test on that. Okay, this looks like the closest so far, so let's do a single test on this one. See how it looks. We want to check on how many consecutive wins and how many consecutive losses we've had. So looking at this, it looks like we had a period here where, let's see, from 9th of April to September, the balance actually stayed the same. The equity was just going up and down, so it didn't hit the take profit or stop loss. So that was a long run without trades. Consecutive losses is 2, maximum consecutive wins is 3, 66% win rate. Drawdown is 11%, so not too bad. Profit was 2,380. Profit factor 179. Now let's try changing the settings a little and make them 3,000 each. Take profit and stop loss, and we'll see what that does to the numbers. So we had profit factor 1.79 and 12 trades previously. We'll see if we can get something similar or better if we can. I don't think it'll be better, but it might be slightly lower. But we'll see what the result is on this one anyway. They had a few less trades, but the profit factor is actually higher. 66% win rate. Equity drawdown is 11%. That is, this is probably acceptable. I'm just going to save these settings. The symbol is gold, and this is the M15 chart. Okay, we've got 3 setups now that are actually working, or 3 profiting symbols. Let's go back to Forex again. I just want to try maybe some, if we can, some Forex miners. See, we've got pages. It might be because we don't actually have any showing here in the symbols. So let's have a look at the symbol list and select some miners. Just a few yen pairs is probably all we need. Okay, here we have miners. I'm thinking of either EJ or GJ for the test, but let's set the defaults again. Okay, we'll do optimization test now for EJ. We'll do it again for GJ as well, and we'll just see which one gives us the best results. We'll step by 10 and we'll go up to 100 stop loss and 200 take profit. We'll see how that looks. The settings for GJ on the M15 chart are not looking very good. Reason being, when we look at the total profit, $1,200 over 22 months is not very good. Profit factor is only 1.12, 14% drawdown. It has had a lot of trades, but there's a lot of losers in amongst them. And just for an example, we can just run a single test here and just look at the graph, see how it actually comes out. But yeah, we've got a lot of losing trades. It's not something that's really ideal to trade, even if we put it on the chart with some other symbols at the same time. Too many losing trades is going to knock our numbers down a bit. So we can see here we've had a couple of periods with long number of losses. The maximum consecutive losses is 8, maximum consecutive wins is 4. Only a 40% win rate and a 14% drawdown. So I'm not really liking that one. So sorry, that was on EJ, Euro Japanese Yen. Let's do the same test now on Pound Yen and do the optimization on that one. And I think we will use the same settings and see if this is any better than EJ. Looking at the results now for GJ, see if we have anything worthwhile. The highest profit was 1,713. The profit factor was low though, 1.12. Drawdown was good, 9%. We've got a stop loss of 90 and a take profit of 100. So we can do also, there's another one here, 90 and 90. It's also 100 and 100. That one actually lost money. So looking at that, there's not really any setting that I like for this symbol. So far we only have, let's see, the 3 pairs that we actually ended up saving settings for. Now we want to actually save these settings files. So what I'm going to do is just click on the path up here and open a new window, entering the path at the top, and then I'm going to find the settings files that we had previously saved. So we've got 1, 2 and 3. Okay, I'm going to copy these, and I've got a folder for my Forex with just presets in it, so you can maybe do the same. Create a preset folder and just paste the preset files in there so you've got them handy. And you've got them named for prop trader, EMA, MACD, so GU, UJ and gold set files, all on the 15-minute chart. So we can close this window now. We don't need that one anymore. We don't need the tester anymore as well. We can go back now and just close all of the chart windows that were opened up for our testing period. There are quite a few of them, so we'll just close all of them. And that's it. I'm just testing here another expert advisor that I've created on Bitcoin. This is a breakout strategy, and I do have two versions of this one, so a breakout and also another version which is basically the opposite, just doing a bounce trade instead of a breakout trade. Keep an eye on these anyway and see what the results are for that. They're all good. But that's it for today's example for the new expert advisor that we created. And just to put it on a chart, we've got here a gold chart. Say I'll remove the current expert advisor. We've got it set on 15 minutes. We want to trade, we want to enter in this particular one. So the idea now is to get the correct settings for gold. We'll load our preset file, which is this one here. And now we have the correct settings loaded for gold. We can actually put in a target here if we want to, or leave it at 0. I'm going to leave it at 0 for now. And once that is done, entered onto the chart, we can see here, that the initialized X successfully. So it's on the chart. If you wanted to test this one for trading, you can do, I would say, on the 3 symbols that we tested on. So add it to UJ and GJ as well. Oh, sorry, UJ and GU as well. So we've got it trading on 3 symbols. Now let's have a look at the instructions that I originally gave the AI to generate the code. And also we will go through the code as well, so that you can actually type this out for yourself if you wanted to generate the same expert advisor to use for your own testing. So first of all, we will look at the instructions that I gave originally. Okay, this section here. I will zoom in on that for you so that you can have a better look. Copy these instructions down. Just type this up on a notepad if you like, and then enter this into Claude.ai, and you will get the same expert advisor with it as I have here as well. Now we have actually made a couple of changes, which I will show you here. Add this one to the instructions. We want to add another rule where we don't open a trade on the same day if we've had an entry or an exit with this particular symbol. So if we're trading on the pound dollar, for instance, and we've had a trade enter on this day or a new trade open, or if we've had a trade that's closed on this day, we do not enter any new trades for that particular symbol on that day. The next change that I made was to the profit and equity. We changed the actual checking the profit from a balance to an actual equity check, so that if we actually have an open float that is in profit and takes us over our profit target, which in this example is 11,000, we just say we're $11,005, it will actually close all of the trades at that point and lock in the profit. Now let's have a look at the code so that you can type this up yourself if you decided to go that way, instead of actually using the AI to generate yourself. So I will scroll through this slowly. All you need to do is pause the video and type it up one page at a time until we get to the end, and then we will compile it and confirm that there's no errors. There we have it. That is the code complete at this stage. So this is what I've saved as version 1. Now that we have our code and we have our MetaTrader here open, we can actually copy this expert advisor onto a new MetaTrader if we want to set it up on a VPS, for instance, because the main thing is we want this to be trading on the chart anyway, 5 days a week, Monday to Friday for trading. And if you're using a desktop PC now to actually create the code for this one, you don't really want to leave this computer running with MetaTrader full-time 5 days a week. So what I have done myself is I am actually hosting multiple mini PCs at home, and I'm actually using them instead of an online VPS, mainly because it's cheaper. You only have the upfront cost for the mini PC, which is about $400 or $500 for each one. I currently have 4 of them set up, and I use these ones for actually testing and also for live trading, prop firm trading, etc. So let's have a look at how to export, or how to take the expert advisor that we've created and move it to another computer or to a different server or VPS. The first thing we do is go in your MetaTrader file, open data folder. This will actually take you to the MQL5 folder where the actual expert advisor is located. if we sort by date modified, we will actually see that the one that we've created is here right on the top. So what I'm going to do is copy that, and then I'm going to minimize this one and take this to my online computers or my mini PC. We've got this particular one here set up ready to go. So we have a MetaTrader open now. We'll go to the same open folder, open the data window in this one, and we want to go into the experts folder, and here we want to paste the expert advisor that we've just created. Once that's done, we can close that window. Actually, I did forget one thing. We need to actually copy the preset files as well. And where the preset files are, let me just see where I put them now. If we go to our MetaTrader and open the tester, so click on View, Strategy Tester, we can actually find the location where we stored the files here. If we go to Input, right click and Load, this will actually give us the path of where the files were actually saved. If we copy this and enter it just into the Explorer window, we can actually get our settings here. So the ones that we are looking for, the ones that we've named with the M15 folder. So we've got 3 set files here. This is the 3 that we want to keep, so we're going to hit copy, minimize this, go back to the computer where we're going to store them. Now I have actually created a folder on this computer for just to make life easier for testing. I've called it presets, so it's under my Windows directory. So the C drive, Forex, and the folder name is presets, and we're going to paste these files in here. If we sort by date, they should be at the top of the list. So here are our 3 preset files. Now we want to load the 3 charts on for this one. Also, we're going to start a new demo account. So let's do the new demo account first. So right click on the account settings and say open account. If we use our pari, we'll get a non-expiring demo account. So if you do a search, you can do this from any MetaTrader 5. If you type in our pari and find your company, it'll come up here on the list. This is the one we want to click on. So create a new demo account. It might actually ask you for an email address and date of birth. You can just make up any number you like for these. That's what I've done. Just put in any random number, and a phone number as well. I've just put in a random phone number. It's just not my real number, something I've made up. The demo account we are going to do is $10,000. We can use 1 to 100 leverage, or we can actually go for 1 to 50, which is more like the leverage you would have if you're in the USA. Click agree, and there we have it. New demo account is set up, and it goes to the mailbox tab, and this actually has your login details here if you want it as well, so your login and password. Okay, now that we have our demo account set up, we can add our charts. So the 3 pairs we are using are pound, dollar, dollar yen, and the third one is gold. Now I have set up a default on these for my loading new charts. It's just basically a blank chart, and you can do the same, but you'll need to set it on a 15-minute time frame for each one. And then attach the expert advisor. If we right click where our experts are actually listed here, we can then refresh, and this is our expert advisor. So we can actually test this feature out as well. So I'm going for a 10% target. I'm going to go just over, so $11,010. We're going to have a equity minimum of 9,000. So if it hits 9,000, we're going to be stopped out. Actually, I shouldn't have done that. We should have just loaded the preset file. So let's do that first. So this is the gold preset. We've got 80 stop loss and 160 take profit. And now we will enter in the amounts here. So $11,010 for target, 9,000 for stop out. And that is the first one set. Now we'll do the same for the next two symbols as well. So now we'll load UJ. Also put in the same target, so $11,010. We just want it to be a little bit over 11,000, so that if we do hit it, we don't stop out with slippage and be $5 short of our target. So this one is 50 stop loss and a 90 take profit. And now we have gold. Enter in our profit target and our stop out values. And oops, sorry, I forgot to load the gold file. So let's do that first. So 3,000 and 3,000 for the settings, stop loss and take profit. Profit target is the same, $11,010. Stop out is 9,000. Okay, close that one. And now, in case you actually have a power outage and your system shuts down, we want these settings to be saved. So we're actually going to close the MetaTrader. First of all, I have actually pinned this to the taskbar. You can do the same if you like. Now we're going to close MetaTrader. We don't need the Explorer window anymore, and then reopen. And now this is actually ready for trading. So we can see here when we have our open trade. Today is Sunday that I'm setting this up, so when we get to Monday, trading will automatically start. Ensure you have algo trading turned on. Go to tools and options as well, and we want to go to trade. We can click one-click trading if you like. Not really necessary unless you're going to manually close. But on expert advisors, I wanted to turn off these disable algo trading. So we want to have the top one ticked and allow DLL imports. Doesn't really matter too much about the next one. That's not really required at this point. Hit OK. And that is all of our settings done. So this is now up and trading, ready to go for Monday. So hopefully we'll get some trades entering in the next couple of days. We can actually put indicators on the chart if we like as well. So we do have moving average. I remembered that we had two settings, a 50 exponential and a 100. You can please yourself whether you put these on the chart or not. You don't really need them, but I'm going to add them here anyway, just so that we can check the actual entry points to ensure that they are actually where we want them to be. When we did the back testing, it actually did look correct, so I think it will be fine. Really, I should have done this before I actually set up the EAs for trading. Just means that I have to do this manually. I could have actually saved this as a template. It's okay, we can actually do this on each chart, set them up. You can choose your own colors as well. I just like to have the white for the 200 EMA. Now the other thing we need is an oscillator. I think it is MACD. And we are just using the default settings, so that's fine. Now we will be able to see the actual entry points for each of these trades when they actually set up, and we'll be able to check that they are actually entering in the correct place. Now again, if we want to save those changes, we will have to actually close the MetaTrader again and then reopen it. And now it will actually remember these settings in case we have a power failure. If your computer shuts off by accident or due to a power failure, when it restarts, we can actually put this back on the chart again, and we won't have lost all of our settings. Now that's it for today's video. We've gone through the code and setting up on the charts. We've seen how to find new symbols to trade, and if you like, go and find more symbols to trade if you like as well, and add them to our demo account. Now the reason I'm using only 3 is because some prop firms have a maximum daily loss of 4%. So we've got 3 charts open now with 1% risk on each one. So at the worst, if we actually have 3 trades on at the same time and they all close with a loss and hit the 1% maximum risk for the day, or the risk percentage for the day, we will only lose 3% and we won't breach any rules with the prop firm in that way. Okay, I'd love to hear your comments. What do you think of this project so far, what we have actually done? Leave some comments below. Any thoughts, anything that you would like to add to this as well? I do have an idea for the next version, or part 3, where we actually make some modifications to the EA. I'm wanting to introduce start and stop times for the risk, for the actual trading, sorry. And the reason being that when the broker's time hits 0 or midnight, for the first hour, the spreads go crazy. We can actually see some spreads up to like 50 pips or something crazy like that, and we don't want to be entering trades at that time. So what I'm going to do is introduce start and stop times so that we can enter trades at a specific time. So we might say any time after 5 o'clock, for instance, or after 3 o'clock, and we can have an optional setting to close the trades before midnight each day if we want to as well. So we can actually just open the trade, let it go till say 11 PM or 2300, and then close the trade at that point if we want to. That is optional, so we can actually do that strategy test as well with that one to see if it's worthwhile or not. So watch out for my next video. We're going to do some enhancements on this expert advisor next and see if we can actually improve the results. Happy trading, good luck.